All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er draft video. Make sure you check out Pig and a Pickle, best barbecue in Northern California. They're open 7 days a week in Corte Madera and open Wednesday through Sunday in Emeryville. Pig and a Pickle, the best BBQ you're going to find. All right, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming NFL draft. 49ers looking for some DBs. One guy who I absolutely am convinced they like, and there's a report out that they've met with him, and that is Brandon Hill, the safety from the University of Pittsburgh. This guy is something else. He wore number 9, and, it's funny, John Lynch played this position, and I just really think that in a lot of ways, he's looking for guys that played the position the way he played the position. And here's Brandon Hill, a safety from Pittsburgh, who's probably going to be a day 3 pick in the upcoming draft. Why? Well, he's a little undersized, 5'10", 193 pounds, 4.43 40-yard dash, which is great. And he plays even faster than that. He's got a 1.5 10-yard split, really twitchy athlete, 35.5-inch vertical. This guy's got great lateral agility, and he's an aggressive player. This guy can defend tight ends in man-to-man coverage. So really, really like him. As I said, he's got 35-inch vertical. He's got a lot of the measurables. He had 3 interceptions in 33 games in college. And this guy can cover, and he can really, really hit. Now, it's kind of a weak safety class this year. And this guy, is not like he has no weaknesses. See, that's why he's going on day 3. He's more of a hitter than a tackler. And he is not the biggest guy, 5'10", 195 pounds. But, man, this guy is really twitchy with an elite burst. And he closes fast, and he closes forcefully. I mean, you're talking about a true enforcer. This is your John Lynch kind of player. Big hitter, aggressive player, good enough in coverage to defend the tight end in man-to-man coverage. But if you said Brandon Hill, define him, he's a true enforcer. So I just love the way he closes. He closes fast and forcefully. He's physical, really good in man-to-man coverage. A lot of times these big hitter type guys can't play coverage. This guy's good in man-to-man. Now, there are some, he's got real fluid hips. He's just real fluid in coverage. He needs better awareness in zone coverages. Niners run a lot of zone. He's probably going to be more of a developmental player to start his career, special teamer to start, but a really nice safety prospect who loves to hit. Really, he's a Florida kid from Apopka, Florida. But he went to Pittsburgh, and he's just a terrific player. And he's like he's another one of these tempo kind of players. He's a tone setting player. If there is a negative with him, it's that he wants to hit so bad. He wants to, be so physical and so forceful that sometimes he'll miss some tackles. So he's a little undersized. He's going to miss some tackles. He's probably a special teamer to start, most likely a day 3 pick. But man, if you said to me, Krug, give me one name in the draft that you would predict the 49ers would draft at safety, I'll go with Brandon Hill, this safety right here out of Pittsburgh, because he is in a lot of ways exactly what the Niners are looking for. He's got big, he loves to play. This is the kind of guy that just loves to play football, and he loves to hit, and they just love to be physical in their secondary. And then you mix in the fact that he's really, really athletic. He ran 4.43, but he plays even faster than that. He's got great quickness. But at the end of the day, what do you love about this guy? This guy's a hitter. This guy's a big time hitter. He's going to help you on day 1 on special teams because he is such a hitter. And then eventually he's got starter potential. And now, is he going to be a free safety? Is going to be a strong safety? I think that's still to be determined. I think he's, right now you think, well, strong safety is much more of a hitter, but then you look at him play coverage and man-to-man coverage, and it's clear. I mean, he's competitive on the ball down the field. He's very, he plays with a lot of desire. He plays with a lot of hustle. I mean, this guy's moving and really, really wants it. So he's not a perfect player, and that's why he's going to be available on day 3. He is a little undersized, but man, the combination of enforcer, physical tone setter, a guy who can defend tight ends and man coverage, The 49ers, if they're ever getting over the top, they're going to probably have to go through Philly. Philly has Dallas Goedert. They're most likely going to have to go through Kansas City. Kansas City's got Travis Kelsey. They may have to go through Buffalo. Buffalo's got the big tight end Knox from Ole Miss. So there's some good tight ends, some excellent tight ends. Heck, in Kelsey's category, he's a Hall of Fame tight end. And the Niners are going to have to be able to, get good receiving out of their tight ends, but also defend opposing tight ends. And this is a player that can do it. So remember that name, Brandon Hill, come draft day, because, he probably, you can probably forget about him on day 1 and day 2. He's a guy that you should remember on Saturday, on that day 3 of the draft. But the combination of, look at what the Niners have a number of needs. And yet Tayshaun Gibson's their starter at free safety, and Talanoa Hufanga's their starter at strong safety. And you got George Odom there, who's a terrific special team player. So you got 3 safeties right there. I personally think Quantrez Knight has a lot of potential to play free safety going forward. So you have another young player there, but they're looking for depth. They're looking for guys who can step in, play special teams, excel on special teams, and give them starter potential in 2024, 2025, 2026. And I think Brandon Hill's that kind of player. Now, where can they get him? They have 3 picks at the end of round 3. I think that's going to be a little early for him. I would say that the Niners, who I think have multiple picks in round 5, this is a player that I think, could continue that streak of the 49ers hitting on big time college football players in round 5. And it's interesting. It's like they found George Kittle in round 5. They found Dre Greenlaw in round 5. You could make an argument those are among their best players on their entire team right now. And what were those guys? Those guys were productive, good college football players who were great athletes, but for whatever reason kind of fell through the cracks. And I think, for Kittle, I don't know if they just didn't think that he was going to be that kind of a receiver. He ran 4.5. He's a tremendous inline blocker. He's become the total package at tight end. For Greenlaw, I think some people thought he was on the slowish side. I know the Niners had a fast time on him, but some teams had a 4.7 time on him. And so they thought, man, he's not fast enough, but he plays fast and he's field fast and he's instinctive and he wants to play and he likes to play. And that's what I see with Brandon Hill. The same kind of thing. It's like he's probably going to be in round 3, or he's probably going to be on day 3, I should say, round 4, round 5, maybe even round 6. Why? Because he's a 5'10", 195-pound safety who, isn't going to necessarily play the run with a lot of force and is maybe a special teamer and needs some development and has missed some tackles. So people are looking at him and going, day 3 pick. But I think you're going to look at this player in 3 years and go, wow, Brandon Hill is a player. This guy's a tone setter. This guy's an enforcer. This guy shuts down opposing tight ends. This guy makes the big hit and sets the tone and is an incredibly aggressive football player. So remember that name on draft day, day 3, Brandon Hill, safety from University of Pittsburgh. If you said, Krug, is there one safety in the draft that reminds you of John Lynch? Is there one safety in the draft that you could picture John Lynch wanting on his team? Yeah, it's this kid, Brandon Hill from Pittsburgh. And if you flip on the film, check him out. He wears number 9 for the Pitt Panthers. All right, that does it for our 49er draft video. Hope you guys are enjoying the draft coverage. We'll have more 49er draft videos as information comes out. And of course, we'll be doing a lot of stuff during the draft. Make sure you check out Pig and a Pickle in their 2 locations. They're in Emeryville, open Wednesday through Sunday, and they're open 7 days a week in Corte Madera from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in Northern California. And thanks for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.